Most people have an escape route planned for emergencies. But here's the shocking truth: 90% of escape routes will actually lead you directly into more danger instead of safety. The problem isn't that people haven't planned, it's that they've planned wrong. They've chosen the obvious routes that everyone else will choose, and they've created death traps instead of escape routes. I'm talking about the fatal flaw in most emergency planning: following the crowd. When disaster strikes, most people have the same idea at the same time. They all head for the same exits, they all take the same roads, and they all end up trapped in the same bottlenecks. The survivors understand that the best escape route is often the one that nobody else is using. Let me give you a real-world example that illustrates this perfectly. During the 2017 Northern California wildfires, thousands of people tried to evacuate using the main highways. These roads became parking lots of death, with people abandoning their cars and fleeing on foot as the fires closed in. Meanwhile, the smart survivors who knew alternative routes, back roads, hiking trails, even waterways, were able to escape safely while others were trapped. Here's what most people don't understand about escape planning: the best route during normal times is usually the worst route during emergencies. The main roads get congested, the popular exits get blocked, and the obvious choices become death traps. The survivors know how to think differently, how to identify alternative routes, and how to move when others can't. This is exactly what I teach in When All Hell Breaks Loose: Stuff You Need to Survive When Disaster Strikes. You'll learn how to identify multiple escape routes, how to choose the best route based on the specific type of emergency, and how to adapt your route as conditions change. You'll learn how to think like a survivor instead of following the crowd. But here's the key insight: effective escape planning isn't just about knowing different routes, it's about understanding the psychology of crowds and the dynamics of emergency situations. You need to understand how people behave under stress, how traffic patterns change during evacuations, and how to position yourself to avoid the chaos that everyone else creates. Think about it this way: in any emergency evacuation, most people will make the same decisions at the same time. They'll all try to leave at the same time, they'll all choose the same routes, and they'll all create the same problems. The survivors understand this and plan accordingly. The truth is, most people's escape routes are based on convenience rather than effectiveness. They choose the fastest route under normal conditions, but they don't consider what happens when those conditions change. They don't think about traffic congestion, road closures, bridge failures, or the dozens of other factors that can make their planned route impossible. Here's what you need to understand about escape route planning. You need multiple options, you need to practice them before you need them, and you need to understand how to adapt them based on changing conditions. You can't just look at a map and pick a route. You need to actually drive or walk these routes, understand their vulnerabilities, and identify alternatives. Most survival guides mention having an escape plan, but they don't teach you how to create an effective one. They don't teach you how to identify the routes that others won't use, how to time your departure to avoid the crowds, or how to adapt your plan as conditions change. The key is understanding that escape planning is strategic thinking. You need to think several steps ahead, consider multiple scenarios, and understand how your decisions will interact with the decisions that thousands of other people are making at the same time. Don't make the fatal mistake of following the crowd when disaster strikes. Get When All Hell Breaks Loose and learn the escape route planning strategies that could save your life when everyone else's plans fail. Because the truth is, the best escape route is the one that nobody else knows about.